on OCA from OCA console, and how to connect to an autonomous database through third-party tool like say SQL Developer or any other tools, and how to create a object storage bucket for backups. And then we'll see how to create a manual backup of autonomous database from OCA console. So before proceeding with the, if you want to take a backup of autonomous database from OCA console, you need to have an credential store, and also you have to have a storage bucket where you will be storing the backups of the database. So for that, we'll go step by step. Like first, we'll see how to create the authentication token. So these are the steps you should follow to create an authentication token. So if you go to the OCA console page, on the right hand side, you will be seeing a profile icon. Let me show you here. Here it is profile icon. Once you click on this profile icon, you will be seeing user settings. In this option, if you scroll down on the left hand side, you will have authentication token option. So in this page, click on the generate token button. Here you have to give description in such a way that it should indicate like what is the purpose of the token which you are generating. So for backup, I have given the indication as like Swift password token, and click on generate token. It will generate a key token. You can copy that key and put it in a notepad, store it in somewhere, so that while creating credentials, so it will be useful for us. So this is how we create a token. Then these are the steps to create token, the auth token. Yeah, now this is like how it will go to the user settings, and yeah, click on auth token, and yeah, generate token. Yeah, now we'll see how to create how to connect an autonomous database. So let's create an autonomous database and try to connect to the autonomous database. See how to connect the autonomous database. So once you go to this home page, you click on this button. Once you here, you will be see autonomous database and Oracle databases. In that, go to click on select autonomous database. Here it will list out on this page. It will list out all the autonomous database which are created. So let's create a new autonomous database. I'm giving the database name as testdb. And I'm selecting it as autonomous transaction processing database. So I'm using a shared server, shared infrastructure. The version is 19C. So give the admin password here. Now click on. Now here you have to select license included. As I have access, if you have your own license, you can use bring your own license. Yeah, it's creating. So when it is creating, the status will be shown as provisioning. Once the database is created, it will show the status as available. You can see the status of the database creation from here. If you see the same page, you have work request. Here, if you click on this request, it will show you the status, how much percentage it's completed. And here you can see an error message, like if there are any errors while creating the database. Meanwhile, let me open the SQL Developer tool. database has been created. So now we can go and see the database status. It will be available. So yeah, yeah. Now if you want to connect to this database, you have to go click on this database connection and download the wallet folder. So here you have to give the password. So it will download a folder, zip file in download. So let me open SQL Developer. So click on this new database connection. Open SQL Developer and click on the new database connection button. Yeah, here give any other name. So here select the authentication type as default, and the username should be admin. The password which you have gave for the admin user while creating database. The authentication type should be cloud wallet. Now browse the file which you have downloaded from the OCI console zip file. So this is the file which I have downloaded. Use the service whichever it is. Okay. Now click on test button. If test success, then we'll connect to the database. Yeah, test is success. So I'm going to click on connect. It will connect me to the database. So yeah. Yeah, we have connected to the database. This is how you to connect to the database. So now let's go to, we have seen like how to create an authentication token, how to connect to the autonomous, how to create and connect to the autonomous database. So this is how, yeah. Now like before creating, we have created an autonomous database, we are connected to the database. So now we need an object storage bucket for storing the backups. As we are creating a backup on local object storage bucket, we need a bucket to where we put the backup files in the OCI console. So to create a bucket, if you are creating a bucket for database to store the database backups, then the name of the bucket should be like this as backup underscore database name in lowercase. So my database name is testdb. So my bucket name should be backup underscore testdb. So let me show you how to create the backup. So once you go to the OCI console, click on this button, storage, and go to the buckets. Here you click on, it will show all the buckets which are available. Now you click on this create button. Here it will ask for the bucket name. You give us backup underscore testdb. Now you select it as standard type and default. Yeah, that will be. Now let's click on create button. It will create the button. Once it is created, you can you just click on this backup bucket name. It will show you all these details like namespace, private visibility, or encryption, and when it is created and all these things. So we have learned how to create a bucket storage bucket from OCI console. Yeah. Now let's create a manual backup on for autonomous database. So the prerequisites before we trigger the backup are like first thing is we need to the create a object storage bucket to store the database backup files. Next is auth token should be generated, which will be useful while creating the credential store. And also we need to set the two parameters, that is default bucket backup underscore bucket parameter and default underscore bucket parameter on the autonomous database. So this is how we set the property. So this is the general syntax for setting this parameter, and in this we need to modify three parameters. One is region name, another one is object storage namespace, and another one is bucket name. So let's alter this parameter on the from the SQL developer tool. Yeah, here let me get the region name. My database is residing on US ASBAN 1 region. So let me put this here. Okay, so now object storage namespace. So once you go here, yeah, here it is the namespace under the backup. Once you click on this bucket name, it will show you the namespace. Substitute it. Now the bucket name. So yeah, now we are good with the query. So just execute it. We have executed it, and now let's set the another parameter. I'm using the same bucket for both. So now we have altered the things. So we have created the bucket and we have set the parameters. Now let's create the credential store. So to create a credential store, we have this syntax. You need to give the credential name, and here the username which you are going to use, and this is the auth token code. So now let me do execute button. It has been created. And now set the default property to use this credential store. Yeah, now let me execute this button command. Yeah, it is done. I have set the created the credential store, and I set the default credential as this name. So now let me see if there are any other. Yeah, now see whether the whether the parameter has been updated or not using the select query. So if you execute this query, it should return the this path. Yeah, use region 1, verify these all things, and now we are good with all the parameter settings and prerequisites to take a backup. And now from OCI console, go to the autonomous database homepage. Yeah, now click on the database name. Here we should be seeing here we in the under this home page, the database home page, we should see the bucket name manual backup store as the bucket name which we have created for this database. So now we are good to take a backup. So now once all these settings are done, prerequisites are done, now go under this, scroll down a little bit, and on the left hand side you will be seeing a called backups. So once you click on this, you will see a button called create manual backup. So click on this button and give whatever the name you want. I'm giving it as gold copy. Create manual backup. It will take some time, 5 to 10 minutes, or depends upon the number. As my database doesn't have much objects, so it may take 5-10 minutes. But it depends upon size of the database and the compute power which you have on this machine, like how many number of OCPUs and all. So let's wait for some time. You can check the status from this work request. So here the backup is in progress. Yeah, it will show you the status, like how much percentage it is completed over here, and it will also show you like a start time and finish time once it is completed. So if you are getting any errors during the backup job, you can see those errors in the error messages tab. So let's see. So now it's completed 82%. Let's see a couple of minutes. The backup has been completed, and you can see here it's 100% succeeded. And you can also check if there are any error messages under this error messages tab. So no error message found. So yeah, now let's go to the database home page, autonomous database home page. So now the status shows as available once the uh, backup is done. This is an online backup. Yeah, and if you go to this backups, click on this option, it will show you the status, whether the backup status is active or not, and when it was taken, and these details will be shown. And if you want to see like where the backup pieces has been created, you can verify like on the buckets tab. So if you go to this backup which you have created for the backups, you can see here some objects has been created. So this ADB and this folders will be having some metadata files, and under this file chunk, we will be having a folder in which backup pieces are stored. So if you see this, yeah, here it is. So these are all the backup pieces, backup folders. So so see, if you see, this is the backup piece. This is an XML file. Each and every backup piece you will having an XML file. So now we have seen how to take a backup. So now let's see how to do database restore. Yeah, for that, go to the database homepage. And see what all the backups we have to restore. So when you click on this backups tab, it will show what all the backups we have available, and whichever backup you want to restore, you just select this button and click on this restore button. And make sure that you choosing the correct backup and correct database. Click on this restore button, and the restore operation will get initiated. And note that during the restore operation, database will not be available for the operations, any DDL or DML operations. So it has been initiated, and it will show the same like progress of the restore database operation. It's 10% complete, and let's see. Let's monitor the job. It will show the phases at which phase it is in the, under this log messages. And if there are any error messages during the restore, it will show in the error message tab. So let's monitor the progress of the restore. So the restore has been completed, and you can see the log here. It took almost 8 minutes to complete the restore, and you see the stages of the restore, and check the error message if you have any. So no errors message we have found. So now go to the home page. Here it is. It's available now. Database has been restored successfully, and you can try connecting to the database. You can see any other query executing or not. Like that. So the query has been executed. So the restore is successful. So